You are along for the ride with Mad Dog and Cole Sir Mix-a-Lot Farrell.
Yahoo! Let's go.
Woo!
I decided to fly through the air and live in the sunlight and enjoy life as much as I could, and that's just what I'm doing.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm.
Hey, man. Woo! Dude, I'm so glad to see you.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you as well after we get through this whole story of the chaos that you just went through.
Yeah, it was quite the adventure, bro. Let me tell you. We shout out to our man Evil Knievel. Thank you for those inspiring words. Always get us going. Also, shout out Kicker Performance Audio, kicker.com for everything from your car, off-road, marine, personal audio, Bluetooth speakers, headsets, whatever you need. They've got you covered. Kicker.com, and of course, Bomber Eyewear, bombereyewear.com, floating eyewear, polarized safety lenses, so many different choices. I just saw on one of their releases that their buzz bombs, which have been super popular, are back in stock. And I believe they'll be at Sand Sports Super Show also, which we'll get into towards the end of this. But yeah, with that all out of the way, we were supposed to have Wes Kane on, my brother, for this episode, and we teased that in the last episode. And unfortunately, between some travel snafus on my end, his end, and some work issues, we just haven't been able to get together. We're planning on trying to get this episode with Wes done in the next week. So it is coming, and we have some more guests that I'll talk to you about after we get this episode done. It's going to be pretty exciting. So,
Ever-evolving show, and
yes.
If you had any doubts of Wes Kane being the world's most interesting man, the fact that we almost got him on the show, but his life is so crazy that it's hard to schedule stuff. I mean, that's just it'll be all the more sweeter when we actually get him here on our podcast.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a good time. You know, I've got to know him and spend some time with him, and it's going to be a good time for sure. So, do you have background noise?
Oh yeah. Okay, hang on. And trash truck outside.
Oh, okay. So yeah, talk about craziness. Just that little background sound interlude added a little craziness to how fresh this is. This is what we do. So, yeah, anyways, we're going to get Wes on here. We got some cool stuff coming, but man, headed out a couple of weeks ago for the Springfield Mile, American Flat Track, Springfield Mile, Labor Day doubleheader, Springfield, Illinois. Unbelievably legendary mile track. And the people of Springfield, super nice. So I was really looking forward to it, you know, and I made the haul out of here Tuesday morning, whatever day it was, headed for Kicker, made a stop at Kicker, just after quick afternoon stop, which was awesome. Always love seeing my Kicker family. And then it was on the road 600 miles to Springfield. Made my way through most of Missouri, you know, definitely made my way through Uranus, Missouri, home of the Fudge Factory.
Is that real?
It's real.
Oh, okay.
It's a real thing.
I wasn't sure if it was a dad joke or not, but okay.
No, but it could be a dad joke, but it's also like an immature sophomoric joke and reality. So anyway, yeah, saw the bridge, the whole bit, or the arch. Uh, got 50, stopped for fuel. I was tracking great, stopped for fuel 50 miles south of Springfield. Started the fuel, walked around the truck, and lo and behold, the wheel on the trailer that I had problems with on my way to Doomfest once again had spit the bearing set.
I was gonna say, is this a repeat episode here?
Oh, dude, so much worse. um, so yeah, anyways, I did some calling around trying to find mobile mechanics. I found a guy, shout out to Jeff at Route 66 Truck Repair. Stopped by just to kind of see if there was anything he could do. Um, knocked the spindle nut loose, got the uh, hub off for me. And it was at that point that we realized that we were definitely in bad shape. It was not good. Spindle was bent, spindle was completely rubbed flat. Funny thing was, I had stopped just less than 2 hours earlier and checked them all, and everything felt great. So, those Illinois roads right at the border or something, I don't know, but nonetheless, yeah. So Mr. Jeff from Route 66 Truck Repair called a couple of buddies of his. One guy is called the Axle Surgeon, and he sent him a bunch of pictures. He was like, "Yeah, I can't help you. You're pretty much screwed."
Oh, good.
And
Always
I
nice to
can't.
hear.
Yeah, and he said I couldn't get an axle for 2 weeks, and I'm like, well, that's not really an option. The show's got to go on. Um, so getting creative. Um, Mr. Jeff had called his buddy Kurt, who owns Kurt's Towing in Litchfield, Illinois. Super nice guy. And so we dispatched a rollback. Uh, I emptied the trailer completely into the shell of the bed and shell of the truck. We loaded the big generator and the razor up on the rollback and secured everything. And I took a 2,500-pound ratchet strap, slung it from the upper frame of the trailer around the spindle, jacked the axle up, cranked that sumbitch tight, and limped it 50 miles up Interstate 55 at 58 miles an hour and made it to the track that night.
It's so crazy because, like, people. Let me preface this with, you know how to prep your stuff and you know how to mechanically take care of things. So what I'm getting at with this is there are people who have no knowledge of how to maintain their own stuff or might not even maintain their own stuff, and they don't have nearly as many issues in their lifetime of towing as you've had on the last two trips. That was the point I needed to throw at you.
Thank you. Thanks for that.
Yeah, just to remind you.
Yeah, I didn't feel dark cloud or anything like that. Yeah, no, man, I don't know. The what they suspected was the original bearing problem had a bent spindle, and maybe it wasn't caught when I had it repaired. And so I got about 5,500 or 6,000 miles out of it, and that was it. She just gave her up.
Wow.
Yeah, which put me, in a spot in Springfield, Illinois on a long weekend. Friday, well, first and foremost, the show must go on, right? So, first thing, got to the fairgrounds, which is the Illinois State Fairgrounds. Got positioned. Jared Mees, who promotes the event, owns the Springfield Mile now, event, and him and his wife, and he got me lined out, and then his assistant, got me final direction. So I got parked. Yeah, man, got parked, got all the bones of the booth set up. got all that ready, and then got on the phone calling mobile trailer places and asking local people that were there if they knew anybody that worked on stuff. Uh, got a couple of recommendations, and ended up calling Trailers Direct. Trailers Direct of Springfield. Um, they're a manufacturer-owned store, but the managers are and shop foreman technician is our local guys, and I about wore them out on the phone. You know, poor Dave and poor Jeremy. I mean, I about wore them out on the phone Friday, and but they said, in talking to Jeremy, the technician, he's like, we're going to be here Monday. And if you want to get that down, if it does need an axle, we'll figure something out. He goes, I don't have one, but worst case scenario, I can pull one off of my brand new units and swap it out for you to get you on the road.
That's awesome. That's good customer
So
service, huh?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, for as bad a situation it was, you want to talk about good people. It just kind of refocused me on um, there's still good people out there, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, man. So Saturday morning we went after it, got everything set up, and I love the way they do the Springfield Mile. Um, they literally, like, the vendor area is just like a big carnival. It's just it's huge, and the turnout is massive. The amount of people that ride in from all over is just crazy.
Yeah.
uh
Okay.
yeah, there was cars parked everywhere too, but there was thousands of motorcycles parked all around the vendor area. It was just really rad, dude. It was so cool. um so yeah, so we got after it, and they were day programs for Saturday and Sunday, which are always nice as opposed to afternoon programs, because you're like, okay, well, we're going to get done at, I'm going to have stuff back in the trailer tonight at maybe 5 o'clock, and I'm going to go to this little Italian place that I went to last year and get me some good Italian food, authentic Italian food, and so it's and the atmosphere is just exciting because of how big the vendor area is and how much they got set up. And I mean, the oh shoot, what do they call them, the grand marshal. Grand Marshal was the real Eddie Munster.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, yeah. His name's Dave something, I think. I got to meet him, and he had a replica Munstermobile there.
Oh my
So
gosh.
he was driving it around, and I'm like, I'm not the guy wanting to take selfies and stuff. So I just asked him. I saw a moment where he was just not too far down from us, and I was on my way back from the Resty, and saw there's a moment that nobody was around. I think it was during qualifying. And I walked over and I'm like, hey, man, it's super cool you're here. He's like, oh, thank you. I was like, I bet you never thought when you were a kid that this is what you'd be doing right now. And he goes, not even for a second.
Yeah.
I was like, well, it's really rad that you're keeping all this history alive. So that was pretty cool.
That's bad. And what are the odds? I just the other day saw a replica Dragula for sale. So what are the odds?
Right. So yeah, and then the racing, man, practice, qualifying. I mean, Super Twins, I think we're running about 35 flat on the mile. So they're averaging almost what is that average? Over 100 mile an hour average, I think.
Yeah. Now I just did hear Jared Mees on a fellow podcast the week
Yeah.
before the mile, and he was saying that, and I don't want to misquote him, but he was saying, oh, it's about 135 on the straights, and then 102, 103 in the corners. I hate to misquote him, but I know that was not slow.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I think they recorded a 140 at the end of the front straight, 140, 142, something like that. So, I mean, they were hauling cans and, they had of course, practice, qualifying. Man, then the qualifying, they run into the semis, and dude, the semi races, the singles presented by Kicker, the AFT Parts Unlimited AFT singles presented by Kicker Performance Audio. Whew. Dude, those guys, I think semi one was won by 9/1000ths of a second. Yeah, right.
That's incredible.
Semi two, 6/1000ths of a second. And I believe it was either Super Twins or Production Twins. One of those semis was won by 6/1000ths of a second.
Yeah, so both guys think they won coming over the finish line. Absolutely.
Literally, it's like half a wheel.
Yeah, it's like the quarter of a banana you ate that morning or whatever.
Right.
You'd
Exactly.
be kicking your own ass for who knows how long about that minuscule amount of time.
Yeah, so there was some great racing. I could hear Scotty Dubler and Ralph Shaheen doing their work, and Kristen. And I did get to see them all, and visit with them all. But then I couldn't see the track from where I was at. So, and I was busy. There were so many people there. It was awesome. Totally awesome. So yeah, they got the semis in, they got in essence, I call them the trophy dashes, but they call them challenges.
The
dash for cash,
mission tortilla, go home a little richer challenge. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And then they also do it in the singles. So it's top 4 in the Super Twins, and it's Mission Foods Dash for Cash or something like that. And the singles is I don't know. It's not by Kicker Audio. I know that. So, whatever. Al Lamb. That's Al Lamb Honda Cash Challenge or something like that. So, yeah. And they got all those in, got the track prep. The track was fast, coming in good. Dude, super exciting, great turnout. Grandstands were packed up. They got the Production Twins main in, had the singles presented by Kicker Performance Audio on the grid, and it started to sprinkle. So they took them back off the grid, and it sprinkled very lightly. So, and keep in mind, Springfield is a high clay content.
Yeah.
And as you know, I mean, you're a racer, so you'll get this. Clay doesn't absorb water really.
No, it's just makes snotty, slicky.
Exactly. Just turns into snot. So what they were doing, they had a water truck with the big balloon ag tires on it. They're running that. They're running a couple of the prep trucks, and then some pickups, and the other water truck around the track, just trying to squeeze the water off it, keep it manageable, so when it stopped sprinkling, it wouldn't take them long. And lo and behold, it stopped sprinkling, and they made a few more laps, and they were getting ready to get the singles back out there, and it started actually raining. Not real hard, but rain.
Just enough. Okay.
Yeah, and they got the trucks out for about 5 or so minutes, maybe 10, and they're like, it's getting too slick to even run the trucks
Oh, wow.
around
Okay.
just to
Yeah.
try and squeeze water out. So they called it and they said, we're going to run those two mains after the program tomorrow on Sunday and
Okay.
move the program up an hour. So, which was really cool,
Yeah.
So I was pretty excited about it. We got a little rain overnight Saturday night. Got out to the track Sunday, and the track was too wet to get equipment on. And then it started sprinkling, and it just got the radar was looking gnarly. Oh man, yeah, it didn't look promising, and with no sunshine predicted, even if it didn't rain, it'd be pretty hard to dry the track up. So they ended up calling the entire race, which sucked. I hate getting rained out, but obviously it's the safest thing to do. Um, I think it'd be rad if they would have ran Saturday in the little sprinkles.
Yeah. And I really want to kind of pick your brain about this. You're being a road racer, it's the fastest form of circuit motorcycle racing. No denying that. So, do you ever see a situation where they might run flat track in the sprinkles or the rain? If it was a quarter-mile track or maybe a half-mile track, or is it still just not? Is it not kosher to be throwing those big bikes, sideways in the rain?
I don't know. I mean, I would love to see it, honestly, my personal opinion, but the problem is, where do you draw the line,
Yeah.
right? Like, how wet is too wet, you know? And I don't think the riders want to be out there if it's wet at all. Um, so, maybe there's some of the singles riders that are like, hell yeah, let's get her done, but I don't see a lot of super twins riders and production twins riders going, yeah, I want to get out there and do laps while it's sprinkling, you
Yeah.
know.
Because I
Um,
hate to compare the two sports, and I know this is very,
you're gonna
but
get in trouble.
speedway quarter mile they will run in the pouring rain. I mean, there can be
Yes.
3 inches of standing water, and you get sent out there. Now, obviously, it's a lot slower top speed. The bikes are a lot lighter.
Yeah.
Those bikes don't have brakes, so it's I kind of take flat track more of the sport bike side of things. So
Right.
if it gets literally muddy, I can see them being like, "This is not what we do."
Right. Yeah, I mean, back we ran in the rain.
Yep.
I hated it. It
Yeah.
sucked. It it absolutely sucked. And I to this day I don't like rain.
Yeah.
Um, but all that being said, I don't know. I think the problem is like I said, where do you draw the line? You know, and how slick is too slick? Like when does flat track become speedway on a 700-pound bike?
Right.
Um, so you know, I don't see them ever changing it. I think it'd be exciting. It'd be really cool to see them, like, if they get rain on a TT, just go ahead and run it.
See, that makes
Uh,
sense. I feel it's a little safer, a little slower.
yeah,
You're running a front brake, which can,
yeah. And you've got, corners. The jumps might be a little bit more sketch, but okay, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but yeah, on the mile tracks, I don't think you'll ever see them run in the rain.
yeah. It's
Uh,
probably the least likely of what they do. Yeah, because
yeah,
it just sucks because obviously we know that Jared Mees is the promoter owner of this race now, and
yeah,
it's it's like, do you have a cancellation, a reschedule, or do you run in the rain? You know, as far as your TV contracts and butts in the stands and refunds and everything. So and that's not unique to flat track. It's just it's always there's winners and losers no matter what you do, right? So
For sure. And you know, I think one thing with this race being so late in the season, like all they have is Wisconsin. I think it's next weekend. And then Volusia. So, you know, the real tough part for AFT is that it was supposed to be Springfield was supposed to be two of the Triple Crown that they're doing, because
okay.
Black Hills was supposed to be, and Black Hills got rained out. So now they're running a doubleheader in where is it, like Cedar Lake, Wisconsin, or something like that.
That
Maybe
sounds
not.
right.
Yeah. So they're running there next weekend. That's the weekend of the 24th, and they're actually going to run a doubleheader, and they're going to do it really interesting. They're going to run it all in one day.
Oh, wow.
So that should be a huge challenge for not only the promoters and the AFT team, but for all the bike teams, you know.
All your mechanics trying to do the turnaround.
Yep.
You know, rider fitness is going to be huge. Okay, re-rack them, do it again.
Round two. Exactly. And, you know, things like, gosh, I can't remember who it was now in the production twins main that they did get in. They were probably maybe 7 laps in, and one of the guys blew a motor. Yeah, like blew up a motor,
like oil and shrapnel in turn 3, kind of.
Yeah, like going down the backstretch, explosion, parts went out the front of the motor and actually pierced the front tire.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, he got down to the inside and waving his hand, waving it, you know. And really, any of the guys coming probably knew there was somebody with an issue, because there's a huge cloud of smoke.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, dude, it was like, you know, so if something like that happened, now Cedar Lake's going to be a short track, but if something like that happened, man, can you imagine the thrash? I would, because a lot of the production guys don't really have backup bikes.
No, I wouldn't assume so.
Yeah, Super Twins, I think a lot of the singles have backup bikes because they're a little more cost effective to have, you know. And the Super Twins definitely have backup bikes. But yeah, it was just, it was crazy. And by the way, that race they did get in, the production twins race, was won by KTM.
Yeah, what's is it a Duke technically? What are they racing?
I believe it's what's the big Duke, 1190 or something?
Oh, 1190 Duke R. I'm sure we'll be corrected, but
it's based on something like that. Yeah, it's the big one.
Yeah.
And there could, you know, it was, I mean, a lot of the points guys had issues, or, you know, a lot of the top guys that you're used to seeing on the podium have bike problems or handling problems. You know, my buddy Corey Texter, dude, I don't know what was up. It's like the bike wasn't there for him all day. You know, which I read, it's heartbreaking. You know, this is his final season. He's retired.
Oh man. So yeah, what a heartbreak way to go out, because Springfield Mile is your Super Bowl of flat track Not to
Yeah.
sugarcoat it, it's the one you want to win.
Yeah, and he's, I think he was holding up there around third in points with a chance for the championship. And then just just bummed for the dude, it's like I think it would have been if he won the championship, he is like third or fourth championship. So, but yeah, it's his final go around, as he says. So, um, but yeah, other than that, I mean, other than the rain, Sunday we got everything packed up. I had to reorganize everything and put it right back in the back of the pickup of the dually, Captain America, or as I call her, the old grinder, um, because I had to take trailer over to the shop Monday morning, and I wasn't brave enough to put any weight in it.
No one's
So
gonna blame you.
yeah. So and I was just wrapping up, and the skies opened. And so, ultimately, everybody that was second guessing AFT's choice to call it on Sunday can suck it. Because it freaking poured like like a freaking desert monsoon, dude.
Yeah, like it gets to a level where you're like the sky can't douse water on us any harder than
Right.
it is right now, and that's what was happening.
Yeah, it was I think I sent you a Snapchat,
Yeah,
and
oh,
it
my
was
my phone's rattling from the sound.
right. I was in a little we were under this steel top building right next to where my booth was, and it was literally so loud in there we were having to yell to talk.
Yeah, that's exciting.
It was nuts. So that was that. Um yeah, fortunately one of my buddies from AFT that drives the sponsor sponsor showcase and apparel merchandise semi was staying there. So I loaded the Razor in the broken trailer um, Sunday night. Monday morning, I went and got the Razor, took it over and chained it up to his semi since he was staying in his semi,
Yeah,
and took the trailer over to the repair shop and met with those guys. And man, yeah, but great dudes. Dave and Jeremy in the shop, and he just got after it and really, there's a lot of work there. There's a lot of work there, but they got me hooked up. He did end up pulling the axle off of a brand new unit to get me going.
that's
And
cool.
mad respect, mad props for if you're in Illinois anywhere or Missouri, and you need service or you're looking for a trailer, these dudes are solid. Get a hold of Trailers Direct of Springfield, Dave or Jeremy, just over and above. I seldomly do Google reviews, and they got a 5-star.
That good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, keep me in touch. He was really trying to get me done Monday, but it was 8 hours labor, plus pulling the axle from the other trailer. So it just, yeah, it ended up getting done about right about 11 o'clock Tuesday.
Oh
Right.
wow. Yeah, I mean he's still hustled on it, got that handled.
Yeah, especially considering like Monday was a holiday.
Great point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Talk about bailing my ass out of the bacon grease. Um, and I had, me, I got a schedule to keep. I got things to do, like TCB, baby, taking care of business.
Yeah, I mean a long bathroom break would be frustrating for you. So
Yeah,
An
It's
axle
true.
explosion is pretty extreme for anybody, but
Yeah. So, and as it turned out, the axle was no good. Um, so he had to replace the entire axle. So everything in there's new. Uh, Dude did the straps, the hangers, um, new upgraded equalizers, changed all the bolts out for bolts with grease zerk fittings in them.
nice.
Fic- Ran all new brake wiring because he didn't like the way it was ran. Um, Serviced everything, aligned all the axles. I mean, it was expensive, but when you start thinking about everything that he did, it's like it was pretty reasonable considering he bailed my ass out.
Yeah, yeah. And now I don't obviously want you to have any more misfortunes on these trips that we're going to
Yes.
document. But here's an idea. Maybe when you start running experiences like this, we start putting a map together of who your local save your ass trailer repair people are, you know?
That's actually a good idea. That's actually a really good idea. And maybe get that on the website at some point. Like people that have helped us out, people that we recommend, companies that we recommend for sure. That's a really good idea. I like that.
Yeah,
You
anybody
know,
gets into trouble, you go to your website and hopefully bail
yeah,
you out with the right people.
yeah, for sure. So that's actually a really good idea. That's something we need to look into.
I think you.
Right.
I've won a year and that was it. So
Yeah, write that down
jot that
because
down.
I will forget for sure.
I do have a running show notes going, so this works out perfectly.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, dude, he got me wrapped up. I went out, um, picked trailer up, of course, went out to the fairgrounds, unlocked the Razor, loaded the Razor up, said my goodbyes, and got on the road. And I don't remember how many miles I got in that afternoon. I would guess about 400 or so.
Yeah, in the afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't get on the road till like 12:30 or 1. So, um, and really, you come literally like you come out of Springfield down the 55, and it's rural agriculture. So there's not a lot of exciting things to see.
No, I wouldn't
Um,
imagine.
you make your way through St. Louis, which is interesting and stressful because it's like, okay, you need to be in the right two lanes. Okay, in a mile, you need to be in the left two lanes because they exit this way. And then in a mile and a half, you need to be in the right two lanes because they exit this way. And it's like this big game of Frogger with the truck and trailer.
It's like traffic chicane with a trailer.
Yeah, yeah, but you got, like maybe a lane of traffic on the left and at least two on the right. And it's like, okay, so you just took these two lanes and it joined three more, and now you have to within a mile, you got to be in one of the two right lanes.
So
Um,
you go from being bored in the farmlands to now you got the damn Mario Kart course with a trailer.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can we meet in the middle here? I got a long way to home.
Right. And then you get out the other side of St. Louis, you're heading west on 44, which by the way, shout out, pretty much that whole trip is right along the route of Route 66.
Oh, okay.
All those interstates are based off of Route 66,
Interesting.
which I have, as you know, I have an affliction for Route 66.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love anything Americana like that. Route 66 is so much of America, right? Um, and there's so many of these little towns where there's still some route that you can run off to. Um, well, of course, I can't take them while I'm trying to get to where I'm going. So,
While you're taking care of business.
yeah, maybe one of these days I'll actually do a full Route 66 trip, which would be super rad. I've always wanted to.
That would be badass. See,
If I
now
was
that
what?
like I can take Route 66 almost halfway to your house. It's
Yeah.
kind of where it intersects at the 40. And I'm not gonna lie, I hate the drive to Havasu and back, and that's the same with Phoenix and everything. Just the east to west right there is pretty brutal. But maybe I can convince the wife when we come see you. We'll do Route 66 as far as we can, jump on the 40, and then come see you that way. So at least
Yeah.
we get some
Well,
Americana going.
for sure, dude. And there's a lot of Route 66 along the 40 that you can run, like coming out of Barstow, there's a
Yep.
big long stretch you can run there. And then it kind of joins back up and then it splits off and joins back up. And yeah, it's, I always, for whatever reason, when it says you're actually on Route 66, I smile.
Yeah, it's
It just
cool.
makes me happy. You know,
Yeah,
it's the simple things. I hit my head a lot when I was young. Um,
it's a good way to be, though, to be honest.
yeah, right. It's just I really dig it. And there's so much history on Route 66. Like I've always wanted to do it in like literally like a 39 Packard or something.
Something time appropriate.
Yeah, it's
Some,
like a big giant monstrous beast.
yeah, I dig this.
Yeah, I think you could haul like you and 12 of your favorite friends and still stretch out, But yeah, that's always good. And then I stopped. Let me see. Yeah, once you get out of St. Louis, heading west, it's interesting because it holds pretty true to 66. So tons of little towns.
Very cool.
And pretty much all the truck drivers out there that are heading westbound haul ass. So usually I like it because I can suck up behind one and get decent mileage.
Yeah.
Made it to Mount Vernon, Missouri. Put the brakes on for the night and got a good night's rest. Probably the best night's rest I had since the trailer broke down. And then got up real early, ran into Stillwater, Oklahoma to Kicker, spent the day in there, just, visiting and doing some work and taking care of some display stuff and getting stuff ready for sand sports, getting organized for that. And rolled out real early in the morning and ran, which basically is still all part of Route 66. And then out of Stillwater, I take a turnpike that bypasses OKC, comes out west of OKC, and it's really funny. Shout out to my dad, because my dad, as I think we brought this up before, but my dad is a retired missionary.
Yes, we have brought this up on the show. Yep.
Yeah. So he went to seminary in Bethany, Oklahoma.
No way.
And this turnpike literally goes right through Bethany. So it's always like a little touch to my roots before I was even born, It's kind of cool. Just one of those other things that just kind of makes you smile when you drive.
No, that's super cool. I'm sure you were taking photos of everything. You're like, hey, do you remember this street light? Hey, do you remember?
Yeah, no,
you ever...
no, it's nothing like he remembers.
Got it. Okay.
But then, yeah, man, I just decided, well, I'm gonna, for better or worse, I won't stop in Albuquerque, and Albuquerque has some issues right now in the last few years, so I either stop before or after for the night, and this time I decided to go after, and I was like, well, I get an hour back when I cross into New Mexico, so let's see what I can do with that extra hour. And so I ended up running all the way to wonderful Gallup, New Mexico, which I believe didn't we do a podcast from there?
It's like where this whole thing started.
Yeah, that's right. episode 1, I was in Gallup. I stayed in the same hotel, the Patriot Hotel.
How could you not? You know?
Yeah, I had to. I had to. Once I figured, I was like, yeah, I feel pretty good. Once I made it through Albuquerque, it gets really boring.
Yeah, I would imagine.
So I was like giving myself pep talks. I almost voice recorded myself because I was cracking myself up because I was giving myself pep talks. And come on, Pepper, you got this. You got this. Just 2 more hours.
MAddOG'S
Stuff
road
like
memos.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you travel that much, you can only listen to so many podcasts, so much music,
Yeah.
books.
Shout out. Extra shout out. Speaking of podcasts, I did catch an episode of Zach over at Side by Side Guys.
Yeah.
I caught his episode with Russell the Love Muscle from Buggy Whips Inc. My dear, dear friend, love him to death. I actually talked to him a little bit ago.
Oh,
And Chuck Foreman, super great dude from Pro Eagle Jacks, who is a big supporter of myself. And thank God for Pro Eagle with the trailer issues I've had. I have used that jack many times. It's come in clutch. So yeah, anyways, that was a good episode. That was fun to listen to. So I try and listen to the occasional podcast. I like to listen to music.
yeah.
And a lot of times I'll listen to local radio just to kind of get a flavor of
See what's up.
yeah. But yeah, man, I cranked. I think that day was right about 750 miles,
Nice.
which respectable. I was out of gas. I was done, you know.
I bet.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then just got up the next morning, and that was when uh, they were predicting Friday afternoon, Saturday, potential of big rain because of the tropical storm that has been just smashing the crap out of Baja and I guess San Diego, Oceanside, Ocotillo, all that. So yeah, so I just got up really early and put the hammer down. I mean, I woke up. To be honest, I was gonna get up early, and I woke up extra early because I was still on Central Time. And are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, dude, you were like, I thought you froze.
Oh, no. That's
You
just
are
monk still,
so
bro.
good.
Thank you.
Wow,
When
Zen.
you have a titanium back, everything just stays centered and
I
focused.
I got a part titanium neck, not quite as much as you,
Nobody
not
gets
near
out of
as
this
much.
life not being part cyborg, okay?
Right, I agree. So yeah, anyway, I just I was on woke up on Central Time, and I'm like, okay, two choices: get up, shower, get on the road, or attempt to sleep till the alarm goes off an hour from now. And I'm like, screw it, I'm awake.
Yeah, when you're up, you're up.
Yeah. And the cool thing is 23 miles down the road, 24 miles down the road, I get another hour back because I crossed into Arizona.
The silly little things you look forward to, but it's a real thing, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's like free time,
Little
you know.
motivators to keep you heading down the highway.
It's rad to leave, go like 25 miles and be 25 miles down the road before you left.
It's time traveling. It's what it
Time
is.
traveling. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely experienced time traveler for sure.
Now, when you go the
Um,
other way, it sucks, but
yes, it does. It does. Definitely does. Um, the way I beat that is I leave an hour earlier from home. And then, if I'm driving, right? And then I go to bed uh, on my time, which is currently Pacific time, although shortly it won't be, will be the same as Mountain time because we don't change time.
right.
Anyway, go to bed on West Coast time, get up on whatever time zone I'm on, and you give up that hour or 2 hours or 3 hours of sleep one night, but you got up at the normal time. And so you're not really too buggered up off schedule, you know?
Yep.
It's weird. A lot of people can't do that. They're like, oh man, I'd be so tired. I'm like,
It be what it be, baby.
yeah,
Now,
yeah. It's
let me
only
tell you my problem with it is when I was racing Big Six and we were racing in Havasu. Okay, get off work at 5, get my truck loaded by 6, so then I'm in traffic by 7, and so then I'm like, okay, with all the traffic and everything, I'll make it there by 11, and then we're on a different time zone, so you pull into town at midnight, 12:30, and then
right.
practice starts at 7. That was
Yeah.
not fun.
No, that would suck. That
But it
would
sure beat
suck.
not racing. Let me clarify that.
Right. I would concur with you there. Yeah, it's yeah, the time it's weird, you know. You you just accept like going east. I just figure, okay, you know, I'm going to lose an hour. Coming back, you're like, yay, I get an hour.
Yeah,
It's so weird because you're just like point in fact going east. Coming west, it's like party on, Wayne.
it's
You
something to look
know,
forward to. You know,
so weird.
you gotta give yourself these little milestones.
Yep, yeah,
Yeah. So quick recap: it was trailer broke, so much worse than before. Then it rained out, but then the sun came out. The trailer got fixed. You're coming home. You got to Gallup, got to your hotel you liked, and you got your hour back the next day. Things are looking up.
yep, yeah. It was good. Made the solid run home. No problems with the trailer. Handled great. No issues whatsoever. So you know, I was super stoked about that. The you know, got home and it's like basically whatever day I got home Friday. Um, Viking and I went on a date night, and then it was like, you know, Saturday, right? So uh, and I did something I can't remember what it was. Got up early, and I had a bunch of paperwork to do, so I got all that done. And then Sunday, slept in just a little bit, although it wasn't really sleeping in. But then I had to completely reorganize, get everything out of the back of the truck, completely reorganize. At that point, you know, I reorganized all my tools, and you know, it was like 106 degrees or 7 degrees. So
And surprisingly humid for Havasu.
very, very humid, man. It was brutal. So, but got all that done. Just basically, you know, trying to get ready for Super Show, and that's what's next is Sand Sports Super Show. Um, we'll be. I think I'll be there. I will be there Wednesday. Um, Sand Sports Super Show is Friday afternoon till Friday night, Saturday all day, and then Sunday till noon or 2,
9 to 3 or 9 to 4.
9
Yeah,
to 4. Yeah, 9 to 3, I think.
This is ingrained in my memory. It's 6 to 10 Friday, 8 to 8 Saturday, and then I believe 9 to 3 Sunday.
I think it's earlier than that Friday now.
Well, good.
But I think you're correct that it's like till 9 or 10 or whatever.
I mean,
I'm
not
gonna
good if you
check
got to work it, but good if you're me who's going to play hooky from work the last hour and race up there.
Yeah, Friday 4 to 10.
Oh, that's really early.
That's yeah. And then Saturday's 9 to 7, Sunday 9 to 4. So yeah.
Okay, so it's changed up. See, I'm so out of the loop. I don't even remember the dates off the schedule
Yeah.
off the top of my head, but I'll make it work.
So I'm assuming we'll get this out before Super Show. So if you're going to Super Show, hit me up, booth 9008, Kicker Performance Audio booth. I'll be hanging out and working and doing what I do. And man, always look forward to Super Show because I get to see like all my off-road family. And it's not just, side by side. I mean, there's so many people from so many different, not just the side by side industry that will be there that I get to see, and I get to visit with again, if I have time. So, I was blessed enough last year to get an invite to the Kawasaki hospitality event. I believe that was Saturday evening, and got to go over and RC was there, and so it's like, hey, what's up, and
just fitting right in. Yeah, hey.
Yeah, those I'm not that guy. It's like, ooh, so it's like if I'm in a conversation with somebody and somebody like him walks up, which happened, I'm talking to, nationally, worldwide syndicated Jim Beaver.
Oh my gosh.
Who's just my buddy, and he's been a great asset. I've hit him up, and I've hit Zach at Side by Side guys up with questions about what we're doing and some stuff like that. And you'll probably see after Super Show and after after I get the bill handle for the trailer, you'll see some changes. We're going to do a couple of different things. So, but all that being said, it's like they're all just, my off-road family, right? So I'll see the Speed UTV guys, Robbie and Todd. They'll be right behind us again, I believe.
Buggy Whips,
Pro Eagle, Andrew from Proline Wraps, who's just like a little brother to me, Rod from Gator Wraps, who did such a killer job on the truck.
Salt Boys are there.
Yeah, Tim at SDR, Aaron and the crew from PRP, and Maddie, his daughter, who's been racing since she was this big. By the way, speaking of racers, shout out. Of course, we're not live. Well, you and I are live right now.
Yeah, I feel
but
live.
The broadcast is not live. But today, September 12th, is Seth Quintero's birthday. Speaking of racers that I've worked with since they were, knee high to a grasshopper, so to speak. And he is 20 today. And for those of you who don't know, go look him up at Seth Quintero _103 on 103 on Instagram. He's a 20-year-old kid that currently holds the record not only for the youngest, most stage wins in a Dakar, but also for the most stage wins in a Dakar.
Already at the age of now 20.
Yeah.
And he's one of those Americans that we just, even without your personal connections, we just rally behind these guys, right? Because especially because there's so few Americans that do Dakar to begin with, and to be this young and kick that much ass. I mean, how do you not love the guy?
and just be a good dude,
That's the most important thing. Yeah.
It's like Brayback,
Oh my gosh.
How could you not get behind him? He just seems like, I've never met him. I know his girlfriend or fiance or whatever she is. I know her really well. Through way back in the Muzzy Kawasaki days, but nonetheless, seems like just a really, I know you've met him, seems like just a really chill, good dude, so
yeah,
that's
what you see on TV is the most professional. That's how he is. He's nice to everybody, but
right.
once the business turns off, just goofball, just
yeah, which is awesome. That's how it always should be. I have some experience, personal experience with when I was very young and racing, maybe not being the best person. So, I really admire these people that are well spoken and young racers that are up and coming. And really, if you've won Dakar or won stages, are you up and coming?
No, you're just you're just a
Now
threat
you're
now,
there,
to be
right?
honest.
Like
Right?
you're just part of the competition at
Yeah.
that point. You're no
No.
longer up and coming.
No.
So
Yeah, I'd
yeah,
agree with that. That's a good point.
yeah. Um, but anyway, yeah, I digress way far off wherever we were.
No, we're talking
Um,
Sancho, and I mean it's
oh
I
yeah,
know
Sancho.
probably, I'm not joking. I know probably a tenth of the people you know in the industry, right?
I
And
don't know about
and
that.
I can't go into one building or one lane without stopping and talking to somebody I know. So I can only imagine when you're trying to go take a piss break or whatever. I mean, you're the friendliest guy there is, but it's got to be hard to jam back and forth to your booth without stopping and talking to people for 10 hours, you know?
Yeah, it definitely has its moments. I caught the uh, Chavano, Cavano, Franco, and Landon, I
Oh my
think it
gosh.
was. And shoot, the big guy.
Deacon.
Okay. Um, on the way to the bathroom last year, and they're like, "Mad Dog, hey, hey." And so we had to get our selfies. And I'm like, dudes, I love you guys. Come by the booth and say hi. I don't mean to be rude, but I've been trying to get to this restroom for like 35, 40 minutes.
And
So
I got to get back.
yeah, and I got to get back to work. Ultimately, I wish I was sitting there recording a live podcast the whole time and just BSing with people. And maybe someday I'll get to that point, but not today.
Nope. So this episode will be out this week before Sancho, but if you're going to go
Cool.
see Mad Dog, bring him a hot dog, go say hi, see what he needs, keep our guy going, because you won't say this, but you'll run yourself pretty hard into the ground. So
Yeah,
feel free to offer him a soda or whatever to keep him go. Oh, if you can
energy
find a white
drink.
monster to shove down his throat, that would be
Yeah,
appreciated.
sugar-free Red Bull, White Monster, Speed, Energy, Melon. Um, I can only do about half of those, so they get me nowadays. So
I
a
guess that
little,
means they work.
they're good, a little on the sweet side, but whatever. Um, yeah, no. So for sure, come by and say hi. And I know you're going to be there.
Yep, I'm trying to
Friday
be there probably all
and
3 days.
Saturday.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think I'll go all 3 days. So,
It's required that you come see me every day.
well, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not going to ignore you.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
maybe I'll
Good.
interview
Well,
you as a guest
I know.
because I'll be free agent. I'm gonna have a
Oh, that's
great
right.
time, to be honest.
You could do some of that for me. That'd be
Yeah,
rad.
I'll, I'm not afraid to shove a mic in someone's face.
That'd be rad. Yeah. That'd be
So
super
you
cool.
threw the mic in my face in Idaho, so now I'm just gonna do that to other
Right?
people. Yeah,
Dude, that was yeah, and that what a brilliant move that was on my part.
yeah, that's why we're
Who
sitting
knew?
here today.
Yeah. I mean, you are a natural. People, if you need an MC, Cole is your boy. I
I might
mean,
not know nothing about what we're doing, but I'll fake it.
and he's entertaining and funny.
Well, I don't know about either of those, but I'll MC
Yeah.
if you're
Unle-
paying. I'm saying
Yeah, exactly. Unless you're picking on someone. And
right,
then it's funny to everyone, but usually the person you're picking on.
and that's just how it is.
Yeah, well, it's that's all part of it. That's all part of it. So, yeah, man, I'm very thankful for Trailers Direct of Springfield, Dave, Jeremy, the parts guy, Cody, dude. They just really, you want to talk about a sticky wicket? Um, they really hooked me up and helped me out. Uh, I don't know what their website is because I didn't do my homework. So yeah, there's that, but definitely look them up. Uh, Super great dudes. Thank you, Kicker Performance Audio, always keeping us up in the good stuff. You know, we're living loud with great sound, great audio, um, great music. So, and of course, Bomber Floating Eyewear, which if you watch this episode on YouTube, when we get to the YouTube channel, um, if you're watching this episode, yes, I am wearing my shades through this whole episode because I have been fighting. We had a big storm last night, and we must have had a massive um, pressure drop. And I woke up this morning with almost a sinus migraine, and so I've been fighting, just eye irritation from glare and allergies. Um, so if you're watching this, when you get around to it, and if you're watching this, that's what the shades are. They're just, it's the only way I could really focus on the screen. So
Hey, Bomber Eyewear's got you covered if you need safety glasses, if you need blue light glasses, or you know what? If you got some allergies going on, Bomber Eyewear.
blue light glasses.
If you need to get through a podcast and your eyes hurt, Bomber Eyewear.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, dude, it's just great. It was so cool in Springfield. I mean, it was I was bummed that we got rained out the first day, just those last two mains, but the people were so good. They're just great fans and incredible interaction. Yeah, man, it was just I really enjoy that event. It's just a good time.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy. So uh yeah, it's I don't know. I'm just really like, oh yeah, Friday. I got all the bones set up, got kind of a plan going on what I was going to do with the trailer Monday, not knowing whether I'd be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever. Um Pulled into the hotel, which is the President Abraham Lincoln Doubletree, which is actually a pretty cool place.
That's cool.
Nice,
Okay.
very nice people, very old hotel. Um, Still nice. Pulled in, and because I travel so much, I stay in hotels so much. I have status with multiple, you know, uh, hotels.
Hotel chains, yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, I pulled into, they had diamond parking open. So I pulled the old grinder girl, the old dually, into the red, white, and blue dually right into the diamond parking right out front. I was feeling pretty good and walked in and, or got out of the truck, and there's a freaking bolt sticking out of the first run of tread on the left outer rear on my dually.
I forgot about that part of the story.
Yes, I had spaced it also for a second. Um, so shout out to Firestone of Springfield, because those guys were also really cool. I showed up. They opened at 7. I showed up at 6:50, and the guy that helped me at 7 was like, "Man, I think I got a bunch of appointments. It's probably going to be a couple hours." And I'm like, "Shoot." Well, I said, "I guess if I have to, I'll call a ride." And he goes, "Well, let me check." And he said, you know what? No, it's 8 o'clock. So I'll get someone on it right now. And
That's
then
awesome.
he brought me out to show me where it was, where the repair was. He's like, it's right on the edge of what we would consider non-repairable, but it's definitely repairable. He goes, but you're towing, and I'm like, do you have a new tire? He said, yep. I said, put it on.
Yeah, it's just,
Wasn't even going to take a chance, you know?
and I'm sure that
So,
they're happy to do that too, you know. Yeah, for those of you listening at home, he's showing me the wow, hell of a bolt.
yeah, it's like inch and 3/4, I think.
Yeah, might as well save that one. It's gonna be useful
Square went
someday.
right through too. Crazy. So,
The fact that
um,
a tire ready to go though. Hey, look at that. Look at that
there's the
handsome
Munster
guy
Mobile. I'm
with the
showing pictures
Munstermobile.
off of my phone. Um, so if you're following us on the YouTube channel at some point, if I ever get it happening, ever, it'll be you'll be able to see some of those pictures, and hopefully we'll get some set up where we can like kind of slideshow in pictures. I believe I can do that in this app that we're using, but I haven't 100% figured it out yet. So, anyways, I think we're good. I think we thanked our sponsors, Kicker Performance Audio, Bomber Eyewear. Um, you know, both great companies. Thank you for standing behind us. Pro Eagle Jacks, Chuck, thank you. Just thank you.
Yeah,
you've you've made a lot of this catastrophe stuff um, much less sketchy.
that's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah. So, and thank you to Evil Knievel for being a great inspiration to all of us. The you know, websites, kicker.com. Make sure you're living loud. Bombereyewear.com. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look up that Trailers Direct real quick because I just want to.
It's worth every moment of time. I mean,
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
we've
Trailers Direct Springfield.com. All one word. If you're in Illinois, Missouri, anywhere around there, get a hold of those guys, man.
thanks
They,
for getting my boy home,
yeah, they took good care of us, and I'm grateful, forever grateful. So, um, with that, what you got?
dude. Real quick, yeah, I was last week. I went out to Perris Auto Speedway out here in Southern California,
Nice.
and I haven't been there in easily 20 years. And I gotta say, the facility was even nicer than I remembered. People couldn't have been nicer. It was really cool because I wasn't expecting to go out there, but luckily I had my friends, the Clavino brothers, that were just hounding me with text every 7 minutes. Are you coming yet? Are you coming? Are you coming? So thank you for not giving up on me, boys. But yeah, I drove through a thunderstorm on Ortega Highway, went out to Perris Auto Speedway. Like I said, I haven't been there in 20 years, and it's our quarter-mile dirt oval track that we have out here in Southern California. And to be honest, not normally the event I would go to. They call it the Night of Destruction, but it ended up being super cool. It was figure eight racing, and this
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
the normal figure eight racing where I'm used to, where you have a 90-degree intersection. It's like you had like a 5-degree intersection because you had light poles on each side that they were racing around, and the rule was you couldn't hit the guy in the driver door. So that means one lane you can punt somebody, but if you're going the other way, you cannot. So it just made for super interesting racing. They had trailer racing, which was the same figure eight course, but you had to have some kind of power wheel or jet ski or something on the back of a at least two-wheel trailer. Just chaos and insanity. And my favorite part was that they were doing normal quarter mile oval track racing as well. And what cracked me up is you would see a guy go race figure eight racing. Okay, next is the trailer racing. Well, that guy would take his mini stock or his circle track car and go throw a trailer on it. Okay, I'm going to go win another $300 and then go race trailers. Well, okay, now it's time for quarter mile. Yep, fill it up with gas. We're going again. Okay, well, now it's time for, they call it demolition cross or demo cross. So the main event is they use the whole quarter mile track. And I couldn't believe my eyes. They're throwing tractor tires out there. They had 6 or 7 boats out there. They
Holy
had
cow.
water barrels. They had a giant soccer ball. So if you hit the soccer ball over the start finish line, it was worth $100. and that was the main event for the night. And it was like 3, 2, 1, go, and some chick just punted a boat, and her race ended 25 feet into it. I mean, it was just pure entertainment, and just
Wow.
like every racetrack across America, it is unfortunately at risk of being lost right now. Our wonderful governor wants to put a water reservoir for the water reservoir where the racetrack is right now. And the tenants of that property, 3 of the 4 have stood strong. The rodeo, the oval track, and the BMX track have all said, nope, these are people's jobs. You can go find another piece of property to go do it. We're not buying out. Honestly, the motocross track, they did take the money and they were able to relocate, but it just sucked that the 4 tenants couldn't stay strong together. But yeah, I'm just begging and pleading. Check out Perris Auto Speedway's website. They have a pre-written thing that you can send to our governor, Gavin Newsom, because he's the reason that all this is happening. And, stay respectful, stay polite, but make sure you send those messages in, because Perris was around years before I was born, and I want to make sure that all my nephews and relatives here on out get to see Destruction Night like I did.
Right. No, that's a good point. There's too much of this going on, and I 100% agree. Be respectful, but be firm. Don't take no for an answer. Go out to Paris. If you're in SoCal, get out to Paris and support them. Spend your money there. Help
I'll
them
take
out.
you. I'm serious. If you want to go to the races, I'll make sure that you and your family get there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, whatever we can do to help these tracks, the track that I built, Circle Cars, and it was our home track, quarter-mile paved Speedway oval, is now condos because people didn't stand firm, because people were like, oh, we'll just go somewhere else. Well, they'll say that, but it rarely happens.
No.
They get the money and they go somewhere else, like Mexico or something like that, and it's just too bad. On that sidebar, we did not run the same cars in the hobby stock, figure 8, bump to pass, thunder cars as we called them, or the sportsman class, or the 4-cylinder class. So we had all different cars. That's a whole nother story for a whole bunch more episodes, but we'll get there someday.
Yeah. So, but I mean, other than that, I'm super stoked I got to go to the circle track racing, and
you missed Nobby night last night.
Yeah, I was unfortunately in the state of Arizona. I'm losing my dates too. 2 nights
Saturday
ago.
night. Yeah,
2 nights ago. Yep.
Yeah.
And even with a little behind the scenes, I have season tickets to Speedway and my own private booth, and I still missed it. So I'm beat myself up a little bit over that. But sometimes life gets in the way of fun. But hey,
I was just talking to one of our guys here at the Liars Club. What was that? Saturday morning, I think I went down there, and we got talking about flat track and speedway, and he hadn't been to a flat track since Ascot.
Oh, okay. So that explains the text from earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he said he even went to a speedway race at Ascot once.
That's cool.
And I'm like, and he's not young. But I told him, I said, if you ever go, because they'd gone to Orange County Speedway a few times, I'm like, if you ever go there, you let me know. I will hook you up. My dude has a box there. He will help you out.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm not kidding, and I say this with all seriousness. It's like, I will help anybody who wants to go to the races or racing however I can. So not a joke. Yep.
Well, that's kind of, that's how we stay in touch with this stuff, dude. Obviously I'm not racing anymore. You're not racing. I'm not racing currently.
There you go. Better way to put it.
you're not racing currently.
currently.
So how, let's keep the sport going, keep our fix going, and continue to grow the sport and help people enjoy it and really get the passion for it so they can pass it on to their friends and their family, So
Yeah, make sure it lasts for generations.
absolutely. I'm so looking forward to Super Show.
Me too.
Getting to see all those people, that we've known for years, our entire off-road family community. It's always a good time. It's always
T
busy.
minus 4 days. I
Yes.
cannot wait.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So, all right. Well, I think we got it. Did I forget anything?
No, I'll see you at Sand Show.
Sounds great, brother. See you at Sand Show. Mad Dog out.